welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world that is currently covering Indiana Jones. That could be true. It's specific enough. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to this shit show. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host. He's a bit of a dickhead, and his name is Lawrence Thomas Heisey. Hello, sir.
Hello. I admire your optimism, but Indiana Jones is a very obvious pun, and there are so many thousands of podcasts, so I don't know if that quite holds up.
All right, but are any of them covering Indiana Jones right now, though?
Well, at this specific moment?
Yes.
And do we get two shots of that, the recording date and the published date?
Sure, why not?
Then we have narrowed it down. I still don't think we might not be the only ones.
I think we're the only ones. Prove me wrong.
I physically would be unable to do that.
Well, there you go. Prove me wrong. So,
Okay.
There we go. Anyway, hello.
Hello.
We're here. We're at Indiana Jones time.
I don't even know if we can... Should we rip the Band-Aid off? How do you want to go into this?
I don't know. How do you want to go into this?
Let's do some lovely general... Well, no. Let's have some pre-show banter. What do you reckon about that?
Everyone get ready for your scheduled pre-show banter.
I've checked the clock. It's funny o'clock.
Okay, great.
Have you got any funny banter to share?
I got none. I tell you what, I've done nothing today. I have just had a fully rotting day. You ever have a rot day?
Yeah, sometimes you... was it your intention, or did you wake up getting excited to rot the day?
Yeah, well, I got the day off, so I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to just rot tomorrow. But,
yeah,
it happened, and I'm not mad about it.
Some days, those are the best. Just the impromptu, it's a day off.
Yeah.
I thought I might have got out of bed at one point, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I did get out of bed, and then I got back in bed.
Yeah, I don't know if that quite counts. Was that for, just bodily functions and eating and stuff?
Well, no. I got out of bed, I watched The Boys and House of the Dragon, and then I just went back to bed.
I saw your tweet. You liked House of the Dragon.
It was good, yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, well, there we go. That's that conversation.
We can't discuss it.
There we go. That's that.
And that, folks, was funny banter. Now, I got a new water bottle today.
No one
what do you make of this?
No one cares about your water bottle.
It's nice. It's good. It's a litre.
Great. Does it keep water cool?
Yes.
And there we go. It's the only thing that matters.
Right, anyway, how was that funny banter, everyone? Send us a review. Let us know. Look, I'm going to be real. Energy's low today. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, I know why for you. You've had a brain rot day. And another Heineken, it seems.
It's a Kronenberg.
Ah.
1664. Very good year. I remember it well.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Indiana Jones throughout this movie was like, I can't wait for Cronenberg?
Well, shut up. So, he can't wait for Cronenberg.
Yeah, my joke was contingent on it being 1964.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's 1664. It's all fucking 300 years beforehand, mate.
All right, he might be saying, I can't wait for the original Cronenberg of 1664 when I find it in a tomb with Mr. Cronenberg's remains.
Fuck hell.
What's this one called, Nathan?
This is a good podcast. It's called Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You've never asked me this before.
Do I not normally?
No, you've never done this.
I thought normally I'm like, what are we doing here or something? No?
Never. No. Literally never.
First time for everything, Nathan.
Shut the fuck up. It's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Nice.
2008. A legacy sequel, as it were. Do you know what's weird? Do you know what I thought about while I was watching this movie? The release of this movie is closer to the release of The Force Awakens than we are to the release of The Force Awakens.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like to think about that.
Me neither. I feel like that was yesterday.
Yeah, 2015. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's like my direct correlation to how old I feel. Like 2015 was I started uni. I'm still in that mindset of like I'm young and I can be cool.
You're not, my friend.
No, I'm not.
I got some bad news for you. You are not.
I'm getting on.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I'm on the wrong side of 30.
You're 27.
Yeah, but I'm getting there, aren't I? Oh no, I suppose that's the right side of 30.
You fucking idiot.
I'm the wrong side of 25.
You're the wrong side of fucking life is what you are. Lawrence, tell me what you think of this movie.
Starts really strong, gets real boring, I think. It's one of them odd movies where it's like, oh, this is like kind of what you remember from Indiana Jones and what I remember from the last 3 weeks. Like, yeah, this is definitely interesting. He's older. There's some interesting ideas to play around with here. You know, it's the 50s. It's a new era.
Boy, is it the 50s.
Yeah, boy, is it indeed. There's people with like little slick back combs and leather jackets.
There's greasers, and there's a 50s diner, and there's at one point, all right, there's a scene, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but there's a scene in a 50s diner, okay, where Harrison Ford and his little boy talking over a table, and then there's a table behind them, and I could not focus on whatever Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf were saying because I was too busy just looking at the amount of over set dressing that was going on the table behind them. Because the guy, there was 3 people at the table, okay, and they all had like a selection of drinks. One of the guys had a soda, like a little Coca-Cola in a glass. He also had a full chocolate milkshake, and then at one point a waitress brings him a beer as well. Okay, my guy was chugging 3 drinks at once, and one of them was a fucking milkshake. Okay.
None of those drinks complement each other.
No.
Right? A milkshake is too heavy, a soda is too bubbly, and then a beer is just going to make you feel horrendously sick.
What on earth was going on? This is outrageous. Maybe that's how they did it in the 50s. You just shotgun 3 entirely separate beverages at once.
What was the life expectancy for the average human in the 50s? Was it
like
less?
fucking 20 years or something.
They all died at 20 because they had too many milkshakes.
Too many milkshakes and beers. That's what was going on. Anyway, keep going. You hate this movie because it ruins your childhood or whatever.
No, I don't. I don't have a childhood relationship with Indiana Jones other than watching The Last Crusade a couple of times. Like it's not. It's not something that really bothered me. Like I don't think I ever watched this when it came out. I don't think I watched this. I think I watched this for the first time maybe like fucking 6 years ago or something. And it's like, it's just one of them movies to me where it starts out cool and then as it just goes on, it just gets less thrilling. And I feel like there's a direct correlation between it getting less thrilling as it tries to be more thrilling. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know about this. Anyway, where are you at with it? Because you've liked Raiders, you hated Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
You enjoyed Last Crusade, but you were let down because it didn't live up to childhood Crusade.
I think it's fair to say I loved Raiders. I hated Temple of Doom, and I liked the Last Crusade.
Ah, yeah, nice little trilogy there.
Yes. I had fun. I had a good time.
Okay, all right.
I was having fun. It was a good time. It opened up. It was a movie. It was the 50s. We got Elvis. We got young teens driving about their automobile and stuff.
Yeah.
We open up with a good fun action sequence through the big warehouse and stuff and everything. We see the Ark of the Covenant at one point. I'm having fun. Does it get a little boring? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Is the jungle truck chase sequence as good as the Raiders truck chase sequence? Obviously not. No. Is the CGI a little wonky? Yeah, who cares? No, I had fun. Aliens is a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little weird. I think there's a little bit of George coming in here. Being a little bit.
There is. This is his entire thing. Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of George whispering in Steven's ear, like, "What if I was a little alien?"
Do you know how this happened? How the aliens came to be?
No, I know nothing about this.
So you're absolutely right. Good instincts, because George was absolutely in Spielberg's ear. Okay. Like, come back. We'll do another Indiana Jones. It's gonna be fucking wild. Right, we'll do aliens. And Spielberg was like, no, I don't want to do aliens. No, don't like that. And George was like, all right, what if they're interdimensional beings? And Steven Spielberg was like, I could work with that. And then George was like, great. We're going to make them look exactly like aliens.
Yeah, I've heard this before. Doesn't James say they're not aliens, they're international beings? Fuck off, you're wrong. They're aliens.
Look at their heads.
Look at them. They're aliens and they fly off in a fucking spaceship at the end. They're aliens, okay?
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know. Like, yeah, it is weird, but like, I'm also not one of the people in the camp that's like, they've ruined it because of aliens. Because this movie, like, Temple of Doom was about like the devil stealing your heart or whatever. Like, this movie's done weird shit before.
By referencing Temple of Doom, whereas, okay.
Okay, fair enough. All right, but then still, the Ark of the Covenant. There's been so much weird shit in these movies.
Yeah, there's weird paranormal shit and everything. I don't know, Aliens feels a little too sci-fi, though, for Indiana Jones, you know?
I think
it feels like it's two genres meshing together a little bit.
I do know what you mean. I think they got carried away with the 50s thing, right? Because obviously it's no coincidence that 1950s was when the big alien craze started going off.
Roswell 47, the spaceship crash, which they work into this movie. because Indiana Jones was like, oh, isn't that RAF thing at Roswell? Oh, you know.
But like, for me, I don't know. I feel like they got lost a little bit because Indiana Jones, as long as we've known him, has been set at some point in the 1930s. But it's never been about what was popular in the 1930s. It's been like, let's go find this fucking ancient relic.
He was just a guy doing stuff, and now he's been like, he obviously fought in the war, and he's been like a super soldier and like a spy, and like he was working with the OSS and the SAS and the RSS and the fucking STDs and all this and everything else. And
Definitely the STDs.
The STDs. And he's like this war hero and everything. And then the janitor from Scrubs is like, well, actually, we don't like you, Indiana Jones. And we think you're evil or whatever.
Is that the janitor from Scrubs?
That's the janitor from Scrubs, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm just like, why? Like, one look at this guy and you know he's not a fucking Russian spy or whatever they think he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is he survives a nuclear blast in a fridge, and I think that's pretty fun.
I do too.
I think it's fucking stupid, but it's pretty fun.
It's thrilling. Like seeing him because he's like he runs around, the car drives past him and he's like, oh fucking hell. And like, you know, he's gonna survive, so the fun starts to be in like, what absurd scenario
he
is this gonna be?
100% should not have survived.
No,
Like, even if we subscribe to the idea that sure you can survive a nuclear blast in a lead-lined fridge, you can't, but sure, why not? Let's go with it. Even if we buy into that, just the way that fridge was fucking propelled through the sky and then just tumbled and just rolled like about 1,000 times before it came to a stop, my guy would have been a soup.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Imagine how ironic it is to be Indiana Jones, find yourself in a fucking nuclear testing facility, right? Get out of the nuclear blast somehow, but die because you've locked yourself in a fucking lead-lined tomb that is just going to turn you into mush.
It's true, yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, no, I don't. That's another thing that everyone always kind of gets on their weird kind of high horses about. I think it's quite a good test on how you enjoy art, whether you're a cinema cinzer or whether you're just someone that's like, I'm not afraid to have a bit of fun with this.
I like it. I think it's good stuff.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. I like the opening as a whole, to be fair.
I like the opening. Yeah, I like the fact that they go to that big warehouse and they're like, you remember this? Let's explore it.
I like that it just Indiana Jones has kept adding to this. Like, you've just been given the impression that whilst we haven't seen those adventures, he spent the last, like, however many years it's been, just, like, slowly building up this collection to be more and more.
I feel like that's like, it locked in for me that it's, like, it's an Indiana Jones trope. When I was watching this movie, it locked in for me. I realized that it's an Indiana Jones trope to just reference a whole bunch of adventures we'd never seen, and with characters we've never seen before. Because, like, you got Ray Winston here being like, bloody hell, Indiana Jones. Remember when we went on all these adventures together, Indiana Jones? We was in Berlin spying on the Reds for 12 years, Indiana Jones, because we're best friends. I've never met you. Who are you?
Yeah. But then, like, we never met Short Round and stuff, so, like, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I know, but...
He's not Short Round.
He's no Short Round, no.
Yeah. I like that they do, like, a little... You're led to believe it's kind of like this fun little... You know, we're in the 1950s. We're having a little race. You know, like these kids are going crazy in their little car. They're trying to challenge us to a race, and then like they pull up to the thing, and like it's all friendly vibes, and then they just start machine gunning the guards at the door, and it turns out they've got Indiana Jones and Ray Winston in the trunk. It's like you're suddenly like, oh yeah, I forgot what franchise I was watching for a minute.
Yeah, it's good fun.
What do you make of all the like action out the end of the opening? Like he has to run up a load of boxes. He's doing well for his age, I'll say.
I like it, to be honest. I think the action is quite good. How much is Harrison and how much? I'll tell you what, he looks good. I was expecting like deathbed Harrison Ford. Okay, I was thinking of Harrison Ford today. Okay. Yeah. But he looks quite good. He just looks a bit like grayer and grizzled and stuff, and he still looks good. He can move about and stuff. He's having a good time.
He's got that deceiving old man body where you're like, you see him in a shirt and you're like, you've lost it a little bit. But then he takes off his shirt to get power cleaned by the military or whatever, and I'm like, fucking hell, he's in decent shape, isn't he, for his 60s?
And they're washing his balls. And he's like, don't wash my balls. They're my balls.
It's a good little background gag. I like it. Yeah, my balls. I want them dirty. Thank you very much.
It's my right to have my balls covered in nuclear waste. Actually.
Indiana Jones, the one place you need to start cleaning is your balls after you've been in a nuclear bomb.
It's true. It's true. There's a big guy. He gets to have several fights with a big guy. One of which at the beginning on that little fucking space car or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
They get
It's like some sort of weird rocket situation.
Yeah, they got like a little Pat Roach Jr. for him to have a fight with. I like it. It's good stuff.
It's obviously not the same guy. I think that guy's probably dead.
Well, yeah, it's obviously not the same guy, considering it's 20 years later and he looks 20 years younger.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like Ray Winston's driving the. He obviously betrays him. One of his first of many betrayals that get very tiring as the movie goes on. I think he is in a car with one of the KGB soldiers, and the KGB soldier starts getting a bit cocky and wants to take on Indiana Jones on the while they're both in their separate cars. And I do like Ray Winston being like, "Don't get clever, Boris. You don't know him. You don't know him."
A game of chicken. It is.
Yeah, it is. And then Indiana Jones like whips up on one of the light structures and just makes them crash into each other.
It's good action. He's running about the rooftop beams and stuff. He's a spring chicken despite his age, you know.
It is good. Yeah, I like that he's smart as well in it. Like he's still doing all the. It's clear that he's just gained more experience. The whole like, let's empty out all these grenades. Like I need it for the magnet thing to guide me to wherever they need me to go. But it's also not lost that he's asking these soldiers to empty their guns. Yeah. The nearest soldiers to him, he's like, "Give me some more of those bullets, would you, mate?"
Yeah, he's a clever boy. He's a clever boy. He gets stuff done. I like the moment with the hat at the beginning. The classic stuff. The hat falls out and you see him pick it up in the shadow, and then the slow turnaround and stuff with the little fanfare with it all.
Yeah. And then it's good that he turns around and he's still that guy. You can still see he's that guy, even though he's older. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, hang on, that's Harrison Ford. Do you hear at one point he goes, "I have a bad feeling about this"?
I was going to mention, he 100% in the fucking alien temple at the end, he 100% goes, "I got a bad feeling about this." I'm like, hold on. George.
What am I watching?
What's going on here, George?
Also, yeah, me too, dude. You're in an alien temple.
You're in an alien temple that's crumbling to the ground. You got a bad feeling, do you?
Yeah.
I would too.
Those
Anyway,
are good instincts.
There's a little boy.
Yes, there is a little boy. The less said about the actor, the better. I think we should steer clear of that. But he's not a good guy, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, sure.
I like his inclusion of, like, the character. I like the concept of giving Indiana Jones a son. But, like, he's not... He kind of... All of his characterization is kind of done away with after the opening diner bit. And then he's kind of just like, "I'm great. I'm future Indiana Jones" from the rest of the movie onwards.
He's not, though, is he?
No, he's not, and he'll never be. But and they were never trying to set that up, but they were trying to do a thing of like, "I'm your son."
They even say he's not at the end. They're like, "No, it's my turn," but not really.
I'm going to go off for another 10 plus years
Sure.
until I come back. What do you make of him, his inclusion, Indy having a son?
I like Indy having a son. I don't like this son, but I like Indy having a son. Okay. I like that as soon as he finds out that it's his son, he immediately just goes into dad mode as well.
Yeah.
He just becomes his own dad at that point.
He does. I love that.
Yeah. Even calls him Junior at one point as well, which is good. I like the idea of Indy having a son and him trying to like wrestle with that and stuff, but yeah. Shia is like Shia, isn't it? So
I just don't think he's cast well. Like,
yeah, no, me neither.
For all of his flaws, he can act. He's competent, right?
He was big in 2008.
I think that's entirely why he's here. You know, he like trashed the movie afterwards as well.
Well, this movie?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf came out afterwards. And look, I might be misquoting or paraphrasing or whatever because I haven't read these in a while, but like he came out and said something to the effect of like, "Yeah, Spielberg has lost his way. He's lost his touch. This movie wasn't the movie I signed up for. It didn't turn out as good as I thought it was going to be." I'm like, yeah, that's mostly because of you, dude.
He's not entirely wrong.
No, and look, this is the worst of them, in my opinion.
This is the worst of them.
Yes.
You're so wrong.
I think
this
so.
is better than Temple of Doom. This is so much better than Temple of Doom.
I don't
okay?
think so.
I had a good time watching this. I had an awful time watching Temple of Doom.
I think look, I'm not trying to compare him, but I just think for what Temple of Doom lacks, it makes up for like a bit more style and a bit more like talent behind the camera and
Racist
short round
style.
Yeah, no, it's not racist style. There's just
You love. Like, now I know why it's your favorite.
Oh no, okay. They did some interesting stuff with the university for a change. They drove a motorbike through the library.
They did. And there was one point where, when they were driving the motorbike through the library, there was a guy, and they just fully zoomed in on his face while the guy did the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Okay? You saw him open his mouth, and the Wilhelm scream came out.
I really respect it.
I did too. I thought it was good. I like it when the bike was sliding under the tables, and then there was that kid at the end, like, Professor Jones, what's this archaeology question here? He's like, get out of the library, you fucking nerd. Right?
Yes, I love that.
It's good stuff, man.
I do love all of that. I like, because normally we've spoken the last couple of weeks, right? These things are like, these are normally the exposition bits. The bits where he's at the university are the bits where it's like, where's this relic? Let's go and find this relic.
All I have to say is, Jim Broadbent, you will never be Marcus Brody. Okay.
No, but he's good. Jim Broadbent's great.
He's no Marcus Brody. I'm assuming that actor died, which is why he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a terrible man or something.
Yeah. But he's no Marcus. I miss Brody.
I do too. And so does Indiana Jones. There's that really kind of somber moment where they pull a fun Indiana Jones action gag where the KGB crashes into his memoriam statue.
Yeah.
Marcus Brody's head just fucking lands in the lap of a KGB agent. And then it just like, Shia LaBeouf is like, ha, amazing. And Harrison Ford's like, not amazing.
That was
sad.
my friend.
Yeah, I like that though, because it's just, he's getting older. He would have cracked up at that back in the day. When he was a little grave robbing menace, but now he's like, no, it's kind of sad.
Indiana Jones, shall we go on another adventure? Anyway, Cate Blanchett is here.
Oh yeah,
She's got a little bob.
she has got a little.
She's got a bad Russian accent.
I didn't think. Look, at first, it's
You
quite
can
good.
very clearly hear the British coming through it.
It's cartoonish, isn't it? She's the most cartoony character in the whole thing.
Yes. I think she's Australian, actually. I don't think she's British, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I like her in this. I think she's a little bit. She's not quite the villains of old, Indiana Jones. Like, they try and give her some degree of a personality where she's like, oh, she's kind of kooky and she's obsessed with knowing everything she could know, and she thinks she's got these psychic abilities in a way. But I'm like, none of this is as interesting as just Nazis being dumb.
She's got a sword.
She has got a sword.
It's pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah, swords are cool.
Swords are cool in other things. I don't think the sword sequences in this movie are that cool.
No, but she's got a sword. Do
So
you
you're-
have a sword?
No.
There you go. She's cooler than you.
Before we move on from all the kind of the uni stuff with the Jim Broadbent and things, I do like that it's not, they don't just prop Harrison Ford up as like, look, it's the hero you remember, right? He's unchanged. He's still incredible. Like, yeah, he's still surviving nuclear bombs and stuff, right? He's not doing badly.
Which
but
he was
he's
always doing in those first three Indiana Jones movies.
No, what I'm saying is he is still an untouchable hero.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he slows down a little bit and he puffs around a bit more. And there's, he's a bit more somber. We said that moment where Marcus Brody, he reflects on him with the statue, but then Henry Sr.'s dead as well. Like, he's moved on and he's reflecting about that. And then I like that he comes to learn he has a son.
Does he ever get puffed?
He gets a bit puffed, yeah. Like after the big waterfalls and everything.
Yeah, they just went through 3 fucking waterfalls, mate. I don't think, but like he's never like running around and then like, oh, I need to take a moment. Like, is he?
No, he doesn't. He's not ever like keeled over himself, but he's not. The old Indiana Jones would have just like jumped out of that and fucking ran onwards. But he takes a moment. He takes longer in the fist fights. He gets knocked down a lot more than he used to.
He always gets knocked down. He's always been an idiot who can't fight.
No, but it takes him a while longer this time. That fist fight is quite a bit longer.
I don't think it does. I think it's of the same sort of stuff. He's always been a bit of a fucking a goofball and stuff.
It's never been his strong suit, fist fighting.
No,
Yeah.
he's never fully competent. Like he will always take a beating, you know?
Yeah, he plays the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He kind of runs out their clock.
Yeah, exactly. He waits for a big thing to happen, like for them to get hit by a fan or to get blown up by a rocket or whatever goes on.
Yeah. I suppose, speaking of fist fighting, one of my favourite scenes in this, and it comes after my least favourite scene in this, is, well, I'll tell you what, let's get into it properly. The jungle, right? The jungle chase.
It's fun. Doesn't look great,
No, it doesn't.
obviously, because it was like filmed on a green screen or whatever.
Yeah. I think it really suffers, right? Because I'm not one of these people that's like fucking crying over like, well, practical and CG and all of that, right? Like if it looks
Neither
good,
am I. At the end of the day, what is the difference between a matte painting and a green screen?
no, but literally nothing other than
Yeah.
one's already half done for you.
One's more technological, really. That's it,
Yeah.
really.
The green screens are the modern matte paintings,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, I'm thinking like,
Well, the volume is the modern matte painting.
that's true, yeah. But I do think there is this tangibility that is lost because Indiana Jones has been so practical prior to this in the action sequences. Like in Raiders, they actually dragged someone across the floor off a truck. You know, like in Last Crusade, there was a tank that was moving. Yeah, it weren't going on that speed,
Yeah.
but there was a tank and they were on top of it. Whereas in this, it just feels like there's this kind of odd quality to it where, because no one's driving and the cars aren't going quickly, and because there's so much car hopping with characters
Yeah.
jumping back and forth, you really see how slow it is happening for them
Yeah.
versus the direct contrast of how fast the green screen wants me to think it is going.
I didn't really notice that.
No?
I didn't really focus on the speed of the vehicles, if I'm being honest. I was just like, oh boy, this looks ugly.
Do you not think it felt a bit more sluggish, though?
I think we need to go to an ad.
Okay.
Lawrence, we're back from the ads.
And I'm still laughing. I was laughing throughout that whole ad. I don't know how long it was, but I've been laughing that whole time.
Amazing. Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
long it was, you can skip through it. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, what was we saying?
I just think there is this.
What was we saying?
No, I'm saying it.
Yeah, but you're making a new point. What was we saying?
I'm trying to say it. You keep cutting me off from trying to say it.
All right.
It's just, it feels sluggish, dude. Like it feels that there's this quality to it where it's just like there's not really any wind going in people's faces. No one's hair's really moving all that much. Like there's just. I'm all for innovation, especially with Lucasfilm. I'm all for like innovations in tech, and I understand why this one was approached differently because, you know, there's been a decade in between that and the making of the last one. So there's been almost 2, right? I completely understand why filmmaking practices did change. With Indiana Jones specifically, you lose some tangibility when you decide to take it this practical this quickly, because also that gives you the license to make shit more absurd. Like you've got Tarzan swinging, like. It all gets a bit ludicrous.
It does get a bit ludicrous. There are some monkeys and then some swinging and all that kind of stuff.
So many animal close-ups in this.
There's so many fucking, like, everyone should be dead. Like, so many gunshots with not a single bullet hit. Like,
Yeah.
so everyone should be dead. Marion's back. I love Marion.
Marion is back, and that is a saving grace. I think.
That is very much a saving grace. It's Karen Allen. She's back. She looks great.
She does look great.
What
yeah.
a MILF. MILF Marion.
Milfrian.
No, just MILF Marion.
No, she does look great. I like that. We spoke a lot about how there's kind of Indiana Jones just has a revolving door of characters that come and go from movie to movie.
Which he even says. He even mentions. And then he's like, hey, none of them were you. And she gets and she turns into a giggly little schoolgirl.
It's a great little cheesy bit, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And
He
you're
knows what he's
suddenly
doing.
like-
He's got that charm about him.
He has. He really has.
He's got
yeah.
the bro. He's the Rizzler.
And he doesn't even mind dropping it in front of her son as well. He's just found out this is his son, and he's like, flirt with your mum.
It is something that didn't make sense when they was in the diner, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my mum, her name's Marion, all right." And he's like, "Hey kid, there are a lot of Marions," and he gets really upset by that. I'm like, why are you getting upset? You're getting upset about the fact that Indiana Jones had sex with a lot of women. He didn't say he had sex with your mum a lot. He didn't say your mum had a lot of sex. He just said he had a lot of sex. He's like, "Hey, Don't talk that way about yourself.
I like that he's got these kind of like anger problems, and this is what I mean. They kind of just get dropped so that he can be like, I'm cool too, and I'm gonna be an Indiana Jones when I grow up.
No, you're not.
No, he's not. By the way, I'm really excited for you to watch next week. I'm really, really excited.
I think I've heard about what you're alluding to.
I'm not going to say a thing until you've seen it. No, I like that Marion's back. It's a chance to actually develop a relationship you've already got context for.
Mm-hmm. It's not a Nazi woman. It's not a woman who's screaming for the entire movie, who the director hates because it's his ex-wife or whatever. It's just an actual likable character who we have a history with, and she's played by a great actress who does an amazing job. And I'm having fun. Marion's back. This is all I ever wanted.
Me too. And I like that because she's an existing character, you can have context thrown in between the movies as well. Like, we find out that they were about to get married, and he dipped a week before the wedding. Like, that's crazy context for a lot of stuff that happens.
Probably ran away to Venice so he could have sex with that Nazi.
No, he may have done. That's true. Yeah.
We don't know the timeline.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
There you go.
All right. After the jungle stuff, I do really like this is where I think they get the absurdity right. I love the ant sequence.
The ant sequence is pretty great. It's creepy. First of all, before the ant sequence, I like that Indiana Jones has to get rescued by a snake, his true enemy. His biggest fear has to save him. And it's like, call it a rope. Say it's a rope.
I love how committed he is. He's like, this man has done so many things to survive, and he's willing to throw it all away because he doesn't want to touch a snake.
It's good. I like it. Probably killed that snake when he just like pulled on its neck and just like used his whole body weight just to pull himself out.
You either killed the snake or you gave it the most incredible back realignment ever. Like, that's like chiropractor.
That snake is slithering through the jungle like, fuck me, I feel good, boys.
Fucking check me
I got a
weaving
new
in and
lease
out.
of life. Anyway, there's all these big ants. They're big red ants. They'll eat a man alive, apparently. Terrifying.
Yeah, they are terrifying. This is what the movie had been missing up to this point. Just something fucking creepy, some little dodgy insects that make you go, ugh, make your skin crawl.
Yeah.
And I like that John Hurt uses the crystal skull.
John Hurt's in this movie.
John Hurt's in this.
He plays like a weird guy or whatever.
He plays. I don't know what, like, these kind of tropes, they always fucking bore the pants off of me, man. Like, there's a guy and no one can understand him because if they could understand him, the movie would be over. And I'm like, oh, who cares? Just say it was a piece of paper.
Yeah, I do hate this trope of like this guy who everyone thinks is insane, but actually they're the real genius because they only know the truth or whatever. It's a tired trope by this point.
Yeah, he doesn't know, and it's inconsistent as well because he starts the movie not understanding like which way he's going without his kind of weird little direction stick. Right, and he ends the movie surviving 3 fucking cliff drop waterfalls and being completely fine, knowing and understanding when to get away from everything. It's a tired kind of movie thing that pops up a lot, but I do like how he uses the crystal skull to essentially create an ant bully circle, staging the fist fight. Such a good concept.
They give them a little video game arena to have their fist fight in. Yeah,
it's not a hitbox. What's it like? It's like an area you can't leave, or like your mission area,
an arena
expiring or something.
Yeah, an arena.
It's great, and I love that the fist fight just kind of goes on and on until Harrison Ford just like finds a second wind and just unloads into this dude.
It's a good fight. I like it. And then he gets eaten by ants and dragged away.
This is right.
He has his mouth open, screaming while they're all climbing in. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You close that mouth immediately.
Yeah, you really would. You're not gonna have much luck, but I'd at least try.
Yeah, that's what you'd be doing.
I like that he doesn't get like knocked out, but he gets like clean fucking KO'd. Like he's on the ground. And I like how he's dazed until an ant climbs on him, and then his eyes just widen, and I'm like, oh boy, this is a terrible way to go.
It's over for him, man.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. What else happens in this?
Not much, to be honest.
This is what I mean. It gets really a bit dull as it goes on, I think.
It feels short, but it's not. It's the same length as all the others. They're all coming in at about 2 hours. But like, yeah, the end part, it's just them kind of stumbling through a temple. They'll have a little fight with some natives at one point, and then they'll be like, we're fine, actually. I'll tell you what, there's a cool moment where one of those guys was going to fucking... He's got like a little blowpipe, and he's going to use it on Indiana Jones's little boy, but then Indy just grabs it and blows it back in his mouth.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
It was pretty cool.
That is fun, yeah. But I still feel like we're in this. Is this offensive? I don't know.
Yeah, it did have shades of that. I was like, I don't know. I
They're being very vague.
I feel a little uncomfortable, but I don't know.
It's one of them situations where, like, look, maybe I'm not as well read as I should be, but I'm watching it and I'm like, if I knew why,
a little racist, doesn't it?
Yeah. If I can articulate this, if I knew why it felt racist, then I could articulate my feeling better. But I have a hunch.
I'm not smart enough to articulate why it feels racist, but it just does.
Yeah, there's a whiff of racism.
There's an air of racism about it.
Which in 2008, way less socially acceptable than the early and late 80s.
Yes, but still, 2008 is still a very different time to today, though. Like
that's very true.
It's still quite far off.
You had Johnny Depp as the Lone Ranger around this time. Like there
was
a
like
bunch
2012.
Of shit. Oh God.
Yeah,
it kept going.
It was quite past. Quite later than it should have been.
Dear Lord. All right, Ray Winston is a fucking really irritating character in this. He's charming, but he's irritating.
What's going on with Ray Winston? Sometimes he'll do like a gangster movie and he'll be like, I'm only going to play these like really hard fucking tough guys. And then he'll be like, no, actually, I'll just have a bit of fun and be like, I'll do a Marvel movie and I'll do an Indiana Jones movie and I'll do all of it. Well, probably pay him $1 million. That's probably why. So
yeah, every now and again he just comes out and buys a second house for himself, or
probably,
or however many houses he owns. But here's my crazy take. He works in this universe. He's absurd. He's larger than life. He's a fun character.
Yes.
He's just really badly written and does nothing.
He's like, I'm a double agent. I'm a triple agent. No, I just love gold.
Yeah, but this is the thing that bothers me, right? He's a double agent. He's a triple agent. I was lying the whole time. There was no consequences for any of that. No one gets shot.
Wasn't.
No one dies. Is it just you having fun, pretending you're more important in this than you are?
There was just a moment of, now we've got a gun to us, but nothing really comes of it. Now it's just it all played out the exact same way anyway. So
they never feel anything more sinister than mates that are a little bit pissed off at each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
It never ever kind of got, and maybe that's interesting to some people. Maybe the target audience of dads really enjoyed this.
Okay.
But at the same time,
I don't know if they did. But
no, actually, no, saying that, yeah, they were all the people that grew up with it and then went, oh, aliens, what the fuck?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I went to the Cinemaplex to watch this in 2008. Yeah, I went to my local Cinemaplex. And I went, 1 ticket to Indiana Jones, please. And another one for my friend here I'm with. So I guess 2 tickets. 2 tickets to Indiana Jones, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a much shorter episode than normal, but I just don't have much else to say.
Neither do I, to be honest. I'm really struggling. Well, here's something. The aliens, okay. The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The Crystal Skull is an alien, okay. It's magnetic, but not really. It's just anything attracts to it, but not really, because sometimes ants don't like it. What do you think of the skull?
The Crystal Skull?
Yes, as seen in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Is it?
I think so, maybe. Or there's a Crystal Skull in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
That's fun. They're always doing this.
They are always doing fun little things like this.
Yeah.
I am willing to take a bet that this exact skull has shown up in Star Wars somewhere. The Ark of the Covenant has shown up in Star Wars so fucking much. Okay?
Has it really?
It is in Star Wars. It is probably, out of all the references in Star Wars, the Ark of the Covenant is probably the biggest thing. It's showed up so many fucking times, mate.
Would you say it's shown up more in Star Wars than in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Probably, yeah. There's a scene in one of the Clone Wars episodes where you can just see some droids in the background just carrying it into the ship. Just carrying it into a spaceship.
I kind of like that with Lucasfilm, that they're always
Yeah.
happy to toss these little references back and forth. I find that quite fun. But yeah, no, the skull itself, the design of it looks really cool. But I just don't care.
Yeah.
It is one of them things where like it doesn't hold the same grandeur as Ark of the Covenant or like the Cup of Jesus or whatever, the Holy Grail. Like,
This is the thing, is because it's aliens. It's because it's
Yeah.
sci-fi. It's just it's not the right genre for it. It's like, what if Indiana Jones just suddenly found a fucking TARDIS? Like, that's not right. I know Doctor Who's here, so it could
Yeah.
work, but no.
It might work, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't quite feel right.
It does. They do put in a bit of legwork to try and kind of resolve that problem, where like they hold up the skull to these like ancient cave paintings that depict like aliens, and the stories that were told, instead of humans, it turns out they were alien archaeologists all along that were there to explore. Like, yeah, but at the same time, Indiana Jones has one line like, this is a collection. They were archaeologists. And I'm like,
Dumb.
but I don't care. Who are they? I don't know. I don't care. Like, they're not Nazis I can enjoy you punching. They're just aliens that appear, smirk at Kate Blanchett, blow up her head, and fuck off. Like,
But did they purposefully blow up her head, or was the knowledge too much for her, and then her head blew up?
it's inconsequential, isn't it?
I mean,
Doesn't
yeah,
it?
it
Either
does,
way.
it does not matter, does it?
Yeah. That's I don't know. I'd be interested in like figuring that out if it changed anything or did
Yeah.
much.
And then they
yeah.
just flew off in their spaceship.
Spaceship looked incredible, I will say.
Yeah.
You didn't think so?
It was the classic like flying saucer look though as well, and it was like they went for like the classic big grey aliens look and the classic flying saucer look and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I find it like, but it's Indiana Jones. What are you
Your
doing?
eyes glaze over a bit, right? You're just like, who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit like that. I liked it when the map came back. I cheered when the map came back. I was like, yes, show me that red line. Yes.
They do it a few times.
They do,
Like every
yeah.
time they go about, yeah, it is quite fun.
Shia LaBeouf took his bike to Peru for fucking nothing. They
Yeah,
didn't even
it
use
probably
it.
just got blown up.
They didn't even use it. What was the point, man?
He had that. Do you know about this thing about how the Indiana Jones infamous look is taken from a character that Charlton Heston played?
Yes, I know this, yes.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Shia LaBeouf's outfit for this.
Really?
It's an infamous costume that Marlon Brando wore
Oh.
in something. I want to say, I think it might be A Streetcar Named Desire. I think.
No, it's from Superman.
No,
That's his outfit from Superman.
Is Marlon Brando in that
Kal-El,
movie?
it is me, Jor-El.
No, it is. Yeah, it is. So it's a streetcar named Desire. Marlon Brando has the infamous leather jacket and kind of weird little sailor's hat going on.
It's not a sailor's hat.
It's a little something hat.
Okay.
But they did that thing where they just tried to they're like, oh, we did an infamous look for Indiana Jones. Let's try the same thing with this. And then everyone was like, why is he wearing this?
All right, No One Frames a Shot.
Okay. Wait, one more thing before. Would it have been? I know it would have taken away and chipped away a little bit of the family adventure vibe that this kind of unravels to end up being. But how much rather would you have preferred to see a more grown up Ke Huy Quan come back and do everything that Shia LaBeouf does in this movie?
So much more.
It would have been so much more interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, in his older age, Indiana Jones has reconnected with him because he would have been the perfect age for it to play off of Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford aging perfectly into where this movie needs him to be. Like, I don't know, it's such a shame, but
Ke Huy Quan wasn't acting at the time, though, was he?
well, he wasn't acting, but he was around movies because he was
Yeah, he was like a fight coordinator and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's always said, he said when he won his Oscar for Everything Everywhere, he was like, I've been trying to break back into this for a long time, but opportunities just weren't there, and that's why it was kind of the massive Asian triumph that that Everything Everywhere was like, oh wow, a bunch of people that really should have had their day in the sun a long time ago are finally getting appreciated.
Well, thankfully, he came back for Loki season 2.
When it came back, it just came into it.
Well, yeah.
All right, no one frames a shot like Steven Spielberg. Now, if I'm going to breeze through these ones, Indiana Jones silhouettes dramatically overlooking an atomic bomb mushroom cloud. That was quite cool. Quite a cool shot.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. There's a really good Jets versus the Sharks shot. Indiana Jones. He tells Mutt to punch the college guy to cause a distraction.
That's
and
the
then
guy with the 3 drinks.
Oh, was that the 3 drinks
That's
guy?
the guy with the 3 drinks. He had a
Oh,
beer.
God, he had those and then he got punched?
Exactly. Bad day for him, mate.
Oh, I don't want to see his toilet bowl after these.
No. It's going to be rough.
No, it's a fun whip pan of Mutt punching the guy, then his girlfriend punching Mutt back. He falls into a bunch of leather-clad kind of greaser boys with slick-back comb-overs. And then they all it kind of whips back around to all the college chads in their Letterman jackets and stuff. And then there's like a little fun dramatic pause, and then the music kicks in and they have a big 50s diner fight, which is a bit of fun.
He was getting ready for West Side Story.
He was like, I need to prepare for
I'm
this.
practicing for that movie I'll make in 12 years or whatever with a pedophile or whatever.
And the last Indiana No One Frames a Shot Like Steven Spielberg is the ending shot of the hat blowing in at the wedding. And the Mutt picks it up and is like, I'm Indiana Jones. And then Indiana Jones is like, no, you're not, bitch.
That's good. That's good stuff. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Now it's time for my No One Frames a Shot Like Steven Spielberg.
Oh! Please.
The opening shot where the Paramount logo turns into the little molehill.
It's great. That is good, yeah.
It's good stuff. I like that.
That is good.
They've done that in all of them. We haven't really spoken about that, but they did that in all of them. The Paramount logo always turns into like a mountain or something.
Oh, I suppose it does. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. The more you know.
There you go. That's No One Frames a Shot Like Steven Spielberg, and that's it, I guess.
That's it. Who knows?
No more.
If there's enough shots for consideration, I'll do No One Frames a Shot Like James Mangold.
And we're all chomping at the bit for that.
I know. Right, Nathan, it's the time of the show where we recommend some stuff to each other and our lovely, loyal listeners. Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I didn't explain. It's one thing that we've done or watched or looked at or experienced or something. It can be anything. And mine is a movie that I've actually already recommended to Nathan, so it's a bit cheaty. But The Fall Guy. It's a new David Leitch movie. It's got Ryan Gosling in it, Emily Blunt. It didn't do too well money-wise, which is a shame, but it's the same kind of silly, non-stop kind of action fun that Bullet Train was. It's probably more fun because it's got the romance plot, which is a really cheesy, like, throwback kind of thing.
Is this the one that Jim from The Office directed?
No, that's an animated thing.
Animated?
There's some animation to it. I think it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit style of animation.
I don't think it's animated.
It is. If, I think it's called If.
It's not animated. Ryan Reynolds is in it.
Yeah, but there's animation in it. Like there's
animation in a fucking Marvel movie.
No, but like there are animated full characters in the movie.
Yeah, but that's just a CGI character.
Yeah.
Would you say Detective Pikachu is an animated movie?
All right, take your point. In my defense, I was just called upon to know about that movie in a second with no preparation.
Well, don't say dumb shit then.
No, it's the Fall Guy. It's good. It's fun. It's cheesy.
What's it about? What's the plot? Give me the plot.
It's a stuntman who gets whisked away in this kind of the guy that he's stunting for is mixed up in some shady nonsense, some bad
drugs.
shit, maybe some
alcohol.
And at the same time, he's also trying to win over the affections of the director of the movie that he's working on. It's a really fun time. And it's also the main purpose that they even made it is because they're basically trying to be like, hey, the stunt industry gets really ignored. And they do it's essentially a massive homage to the stunt industry as a whole. It's really good.
Who's the director?
David Lee. I've only said this eight times.
No, you said he's trying to impress the director in the movie.
Oh, Emily Blunt is the director.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think you'd love it. If you like Bullet Train, I'd be amazed if you didn't like this.
Well, there we go.
It's a good time. Anyway, what are you recommending?
Lawrence, well, The Boys is out.
Whoa.
So I'm going to recommend a different show.
Nice. Yeah, cool.
Gen V. Actually.
Okay.
I hope you don't get mad at me because the last time I recommended this, you just screamed at me for no reason.
It was also like 1 a.m, and I was like, I don't care.
It wasn't. He was like, I don't want to fucking watch it, Nathan. You just scream. I was like, Jesus, sorry, okay. Anyway, yeah, I put off watching it for whatever reason. I was like, oh, do I really care about this? And then I was like, well, why am I just denying myself that? That's boring. And then I watched it. I was like, oh, yeah, this is actually good. It's actually very well written, really well performed. There's great characters. It's different from The Boys in that it's like kind of a breath for fresh air because it's not just the same characters, and it does take on a little bit of a different tone and a fresh take on stuff. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I had a good time with it.
Is it as good as like season 1 prime of The Boys?
Yeah, I think it's really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? You've seen season 4. I have. Well, what's out of season 4 at time of recording? Is it like tying in any way? Is there like a? There's
been mentions of it, and I don't know this for sure, but I think there is going to be a character who will show player who is in it, and there's the storyline of Gen V. I think there's going to be an element. I don't know this for sure, but just based on like the storyline that happened in Gen V, I think it's going to tie into The Boys in quite a big way, I think. But I don't know that for sure. That's just me speculating.
But in your speculation, is it something that it's like you're not going to really get the full out of The Boys if you haven't got the context?
I think you'll be fine if you haven't. Okay. If you only watch The Boys, I think you'll be absolutely fine because they'll just like say, oh, this thing happened at Godolphin University or whatever.
Oh, they'll do a little quick expo for the people that didn't watch it, yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's better if you do. And it's good. Okay. There's some great performances and great characters and stuff.
I have just rewatched all of The Boys in anticipation for season 4, so I am in a The Boys mindset. So I may have to eat a slice of humble pie and watch it.
There you go. Watch it. It's good stuff.
Before I get around to season 4. So yeah, I will. Maybe.
If you like The Boys, then there's no reason why not.
I can't argue with that cold hard fact.
There you go.
Even though I did. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. It'd be very cool and much appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter at Another Happy Pod, where you can suggest a topic for us to check out. And you can check us out next week as we are wrapping up the closing chapter of Indiana Jones.
I haven't seen it.
I know you haven't. I'm really excited for you to watch it. I'm very
Imagine
interested
if it gets
in your
spoiled
take.
for me now.
That would be really bad. Like, considering no one, like you said yourself, no one's talking about Indiana Jones right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe I'll go watch it right now.
I mean, you could do.
I won't.
Okay. All right, yeah. So if you do feel so inclined as well, we have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes if you want to help us out with the running of both the shows. No pressure, though. Everyone is always still welcome to enjoy these episodes for free. And speaking of both shows, Nathan, we have another podcast.
We certainly do, Lawrence. Our other podcast is called Still Got Legs. It's our Doctor Who rewatch podcast where every week we get together and we discuss a single episode of Docky Who, and we have a bloody good time. Do we argue? Yes. Do we fight? Yes. Do we have fun and our best friends? Also, yes. So come join us.
Do we lock lips? Hell yeah.
You bet we do, baby.
We're doing it now. Yes, so thank you very much for listening. We will see you next Friday at 10 a.m. Nathan, play that funky John Williams.
No.